Hey guys, this here's my presentation for enablers and disablers. I'll be doing my presentation on the Puckle gun from the 1700s and Microsoft's MS-DOS. The first product I'll be doing here is the Puckle gun, which is the failure product. It was invented in the 1700s by James Puckle, and the gun was when invented was the first ever machine gun that could fire up to 63 rounds in 7 minutes, compared to the traditional musket that could only fire 21 rounds in 7 minutes. The gun sat on a tripod, and the magazine in the rear of the gun was spun by hand, and it was interchangeable with additional magazines. It was manually driven, and it shot much faster than the traditional musket. The reason why the Puckle gun failed was because the gun was designed for defense on ships, but did not bear very well on boats or near the water for that matter. The interchangeable magazines in the back of the gun did not work properly, and they frequently broke, and parts were very complex and difficult to manufacture, which made the gun very expensive, which ultimately led to the gun never picking up any traction, never getting a peak in its popularity. MS-DOS is the second product we'll be talking about here. It is the success part of the presentation. Not only will we be talking about how MS-DOS became popular, but how Microsoft made MS-DOS popular. Microsoft started to gain recognition in 1980 when IBM approached them about licensing out their programming languages, BASIC, COBOL, and Fortran, for the new IBM PC. IBM was the industry leader in PCs at that point in time, so this was a big moment for Microsoft. Some of these programming languages are still in use today, like Fortran. Microsoft was originally only a software company that created programming languages. And after the licensing agreements have gone through with IBM for those programming languages, IBM had asked them about operating systems, to which they had referred IBM to a company called Digital Research. Although, when IBM went to meet with the owner, he was unavailable, and IBM came back to Microsoft presenting them with the problem of no operating system. Microsoft went ahead and told them they would create them an operating system, and went and bought one off of their former classmate for $25,000. Microsoft was paid $430,000 for the operating system and the programming languages together, and finally Microsoft made the deal open-ended so other PC companies could use the operating system, eventually creating a near monopoly for Microsoft. MS-DOS today is one of the most known operating systems in the history of operating systems, and MS-DOS started to gain maximum popularity in 1981 and started to phase out in 1982, where Windows 1.0 was a successor, continuing on to Windows 2.0, and eventually to what we're using today. The big difference between Windows 1.0 that phased out MS-DOS was the fact that Windows 1.0 had a graphical user interface that was able to communicate with the mouse in the new PCs. That's everything I have for my presentation here. I'd like to thank everyone for listening, and have a good one.